Hi there, this is Art4Introvert, and today we're going to analyze Interstellar, made by Christopher Nolan. The British director, famous for the Dark Knight trilogy, The Prestige and Inception, managed to bring to life his most ambitious project in 2014. The idea that had been hitting the imagination of Hollywood directors since the 1990s, and Steven Spielberg was supposed to run the project. However, the film's screenwriter, Jonathan Nolan, offered his brother Christopher to work on the movie. Christopher Nolan attributed special significance to this opportunity and invested a great deal of his time and energy into the movie. He once noted that Kubrick's film 2001: A Space Odyssey was his favorite, and there is no coincidence that Interstellar was homage to the great movie of Kubrick. Interstellar is set in the near future. Crop failures and dust storms doom the survival of humanity. A series of seemingly random events gives the main character, Joseph Cooper, former NASA pilot, access to a secret NASA facility. There he meets Professor John Brand and his daughter Amelia, who tell him about the upcoming space mission which aims at saving humanity from extinction. Cooper agrees to take charge of the mission, but he has to be parted from his children, son Tom and daughter Murph. Cooper sets off with Amelia and two more scientists. They embark on an epic journey through stars, deserted planets, and a wormhole. He manages to find an intergalactic channel to get into contact with his daughter and hand down to her the data which allows humanity to flee from the Earth and survive. At the end of the movie, Cooper, still young, returns to the people who greet him as a living legend. Murph, 2 times older than him, urges Cooper to rescue Amelia Brand from a planet she was left on. Interstellar was influenced by the major science fiction movies over the last 50 years. The most powerful effect on it had Kubrick's superb masterpiece, 2001: A Space Odyssey. The universe presented in the story is an alliance of the cosmos and the Earth, with space no longer a frightening alien, but yet an unwelcoming host. Kubrick is only interested in events that take place in the extraterrestrial environment, and devotes the third part of the story to the point of his interests. Alfonso Cuarón's Gravity portrays space as a hostile territory, parlous towards strangers. The parade of the cutting-edge special effects heightens the idea that we humans do not belong to the realm of space. The protagonist, Dr. Ryan Stone, is like a baby who has just left her mother's womb, and gravity is an umbilical cord which connects her to Mother Earth. Gravity makes a clear and firm statement: the human race belongs to the Earth. One more movie where space is a background for personal drama is Solaris by Andrei Tarkovsky. The main character, Kelvin, comes to a space station orbiting the planet called Solaris and explores the endless ocean on its surface. The planet peddles illusions and manipulates consciousness of the crew members, and these illusions are indistinguishable from reality. At the end of the film, Kelvin comes back home, and the scene alludes to Rembrandt's Return of the Prodigal Son. Both characters, in Cuarón's Gravity and Tarkovsky's Solaris, return back home. But while Dr. Ryan Stone embraces the air and soil of our planet, Kelvin comes back changed forever. Interstellar's protagonist doesn't change. The long journey influenced neither his appearance nor his character. But the place he wants to see again is different. What does home mean to Joseph Cooper? It is his children in the first place. Home is a beacon of relative stability and familiar environment. His daughter Murph embodies the time flow on the Earth, and depending on the age of the character, she is performed by 3 actresses. She is the symbol of unstoppable time. Cooper is, on the contrary, embodies the power of eternity. The concept of time runs through all Nolan's works, from Memento to Tenet. Interstellar brings to the fore a conflict between father and daughter. He makes a promise to return very soon but fails to keep it. When he does return, years later, the age gap between him and daughter is striking. And Murph, still a loving daughter, doesn't want her dad to see her dying. One may even find reference to the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Joseph Cooper, condemned to perish in unfriendly domains of space, comes back to life on our home planet. The concept of death is crucial, and the poem by the Welsh symbolist and romantic Dylan Thomas appears in the movie several times. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. The wise men at their end know dark is right. Because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, come on in the last wave by. crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in the green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. This poem was dedicated to the dying father of the poet, who was blind and gravely ill with cancer. It is breathing with denial of death. Thomas was an advocate of immortality. He couldn't reconcile with the authority of death over people. Interstellar fulfilled this death-defying dream. Cooper escaped from the claws of death, though his destiny sent him back to the darkness of space. Cooper is a nowhere man who cannot stay long even in his own world, and that's why he has a lot in common with the three archetypal characters of European literature: Odysseus, Dante, and Faust. Like Odysseus, he tries to get back home. Like Dante, he is driven by love, and like Faust, he cannot stop and goes on. Interstellar is a movie about a victory over time and death. The most effective weapon in this war is love. Wandering is human destiny, but just like gravity, love makes the spirit endure the hardships and come back to the loved ones. Ancient culture associated gravity with the power of Eros, the god of love. Ancient Greek philosopher Empedocles claimed that the world rested on the power of love. And this is the very power that keeps together the entire universe. We, people of the 21st century, would say that gravity is the manifestation of love on the part of the earth. And that's what we see in Interstellar, a cinematic reflection of the words from Dante's Divine Comedy, the love that moves the sun and the other stars. Nolan reinterpreted Dante's idea and set his characters in space. The power of love is the strongest bond in the universe that runs through time, space, and death. And if you want to unravel knots and tangles of the cinema and understand directors' subtle messages, try our course, How to Understand Cinema. We'll analyze the most influential movies and evolution of the cinematic language. The link to the course is in the bio.